family,
Right.
and just transformed the whole ideology in their heads about slavery. And then they went back and brought more people in, and right outside of Philadelphia.
Right.
And they had a mountain town that was really incredible. And one
Wow.
of the slaves got taken back into slavery, and they collected enough money as Quakers to go back and bring them back into freedom.
Is this pre Abraham Lincoln or after Abraham
This is
Lincoln?
pre-Civil War, 1850.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Abraham
interesting.
Lincoln was
yo.
just a
Yeah.
little boy.
That's dope. So when you think is this going to be is this going to the movie theaters? It's going to be straight to DVD.
Well,
It's
no,
gonna
we're
be
planning for the movie theater. The
Movie
whole
theaters?
thing, yeah.
Theatrical
Okay.
release. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we try to bring some of my friends like Lynn Whitfield and Keith David and Michael Jai White, just for a few roles, but most of them are cast out of New York, D.C., Philly, Baltimore, local talent. We saw a lot of good local talent yesterday.
okay.
So, it's a wonderful story.
That's dope. You need that.
You've been in a lot of movies. What's your favorite movie that you've been in?
Pinky nigga.
I would have to say Ray. And,
Ray. I loved you in Ray.
And Selma, Lord Selma, when I played Dr. King. And now this movie, because this is a really, like, a wonderful, wonderful script. I've been knowing Jesse and Nate about 15 years, and I just met Thomas about 5 years ago. But I read the script again, did some rewrites, and it's really a touching story of bravery, not just on the part of African Americans, but on the side of some white folks who had the Underground Railroad. Because in Virginia, slavery wasn't as brutal as it was in Mississippi, so for slaves to escape from Virginia was kind of big because they kind of were treated almost like the family dog.
Right.
So why would they escape? Because it wasn't as brutal as Mississippi. So when these guys escaped, the kind of brutality, even slavery is still brutal. So these guys, it's a kind of interesting story because it's not the deep South. These guys escaped to Pennsylvania and didn't have to go all the way to Canada to find their freedom.
Now, what role do you play in the movie?
Well, I'm playing an old slave named Mr. Lee.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look totally different than people have ever seen me.
Okay.
Totally different. This guy's like 67 and one of the oldest slaves who kind of helps Ben out.
He gives them
Go
the
ahead, tell
wisdom.
him.
He's like the father. He's the father figure on the plantation, man. So he's the one that gives them the directions of where to go and where to run to. And these cats didn't know nothing but two ways. That's follow the North Star and fill in the moss on the trees, because the moss always grew on the north side. So that's the only tools that our people, our ancestors had to get their freedom, man. So
What did he do? He gave him some kind of something or another to keep the smell of the dogs off of them.
spruce pine and onions. He used to rub in their skin and clothes and stuff to keep the hounds away. So
Oh, when they were being chased.
being chased, and that was the only tools they really had, man. So they're left in the woods in a friendless land, make it to Pennsylvania. So
Clifton, so you growing some white hair? Are they putting
No,
some white hair on
no,
you?
I
A
got white
beard?
hair.
He got one. He's 51. Tell him your age. Don't be scared.
Ooh, right.
Southeast DC. No, my hair is all white. My
I know,
mustache
but
is
you
all
got
white.
you growing a mustache
no,
or growing
I got a mustache. This is a rinse. Just so you know. I ain't scared.
or a beard. Guys call it a
No,
beard.
I'm not growing a beard. I'm gonna put on a. We haven't really talked about what I'm gonna do, but I'm probably gonna put. I'm not gonna talk about what I'm gonna do because people gonna be like, "Well, I thought he said he was in a movie." It's totally different than you ever seen.
You trying to get that Oscar with this slave role?
No. This is just. I'm looking for great. I'm trying to get on the other side of the camera and just trying to look for good stories. And this is a wonderful. I mean, this script it's tear jerking. I mean,
Right.
we had some great auditions yesterday. So,
Now, Clifton, it wouldn't be right if you came here and we didn't ask you about what happened between you and Spike Lee.
nothing happened with me and Spike Lee.
That ain't what you said off the mic. No.
I don't have a lot of respect for any black people who degrade other black people in the crossover media.
Right.
And I don't have any respect for any African American who, and whether I'm involved myself, as a producer who keeps the money and doesn't pay his people. And Spike
Right.
knows that. All the older guys that came up in my era, and we're not going to rekindle this because this is how I feel.
Okay.
And so in that sense, I don't think Spike is in a position to throw any stones at Tyler Perry. I think what we need to do, and if Spike can hear this, is we all need to sit down because I live in Hollywood. It's tough on black asses. It's a tough business. It's a tough business for everybody. So I don't think we as African Americans can really go to the mainstream press and start degrading each other. Tyler Perry has a right to make his mistakes and learn and grow and do whatever character he wants to do. And like I said before, Tyler Perry was homeless, when he started. Did me or Spike or anybody else bring him in the house and make him a sandwich or write him a check? So if you didn't do that, I don't think you have the right to criticize.
Right.
Now, you do have the right to voice your opinion, but the way Spike is doing it, it's almost like a confrontation.
Uh-huh.
And there are some cats in Hollywood that ain't scared of nobody.
And it's degrading because
degrading.
other people see that, and then
Yeah,
they
and-
think
and-
it's cooler to say that to Tyler Perry,
Yeah,
and it's not cool.
Tyler has a right, and so this doesn't turn into a controversy. Like I'm gonna beat Spike up. You know? First of all, I'm an old school cat. I didn't know stuff go viral like in 2 seconds. I was really talking a lot of crap. But from a deep perspective, I grew up in the '60s. I grew up where we can't degrade the man if we're treating each other worse than the man.
Right.
And Spike has a history of not paying people, disrespecting people. He knows that. And if he wants to grow, he should look at his own inside, look at the man in the mirror. And it's not a negative, it's a fact.
It's the truth. Right.
When I met Spike, he was in college. So at the end of the day, I'm not here to berate Spike. Spike is not about confrontation. And it turned into that. And then the next day I went on the air and I said Malcolm X and Dr. King never saw eye to eye ideology in terms of ideology. But Malcolm X, being a fiery leader as he was, as fiery as he was, never ever went to the crossover press to berate Dr. King. Coming out of the '60s, you didn't do that.
Right.
And Spike knows better. And that's what I'm saying. And if anybody has any problems with it, then read what I'm saying. I have a problem even for myself. And I have made mistakes in my personal life. But as an icon, you have to be, you walk a thin line. You can't berate somebody else and your own house is not in order. And then there's young folks don't know Spike. Some of the old cats, and I'm not going to call their names, but some of my partners, we all know Spike and we know how disrespectful he's been. Now he has an opportunity to listen and stop doing what he's doing and listen to what I'm saying and sit down with Tyler Perry and offer some constructive criticism.
Amen.
Because it's a tough business for African Americans in Hollywood.
No, that's right.
We don't green light no movies. We don't barely open movies. So we have to really understand that we have an opportunity, especially as leaders. And I ain't no leader. I'm an actor who's been an actor for 35, 40 years. But I come from the inner city. I come out of the 60s. And I'm always going to champion causes for humanity, for African Americans, and for life and doing what's right. So that's what it is. And it is not no controversy.
So you're not kicking it at the Knicks game with Spike anytime soon? Y'all not
I don't-
patching it up?
Listen, I don't have a personal beef with Spike. I have a personal beef with his ideology.
Right.
And going to the mainstream
there's a
media
difference.
and just degrading another African-American man who's trying to do something positive, whether you agree with it or not. And I said it on air. I'm not totally 100% looking at all of Tyler's stuff and say, well, I got a little problem here, problem there. But Tyler has a right to make a movie, make mistakes, grow, learn. I mean, if you saw Good Deeds, that was a big step for Tyler.
Look,
Yeah.
let's call a spade a spade. Spike Lee is bitter because Tyler Perry came in the game with a wig, done took over, and Spike Lee is still scrambling to put together Do the Right Thing Part 5.
That nigga here crazy.
Yeah, that's why they got me here.
Hey, that nigga. Say something. It's a very. And I want people to really hear me. There's a lot of people out there that don't like me. I've made a lot of mistakes. I got it. I have. When you're in the media spotlight, my son came to me the other day and said, "Daddy, you see what they saying about you on the internet?" I don't really care. When you have walked in my shoes, then you can criticize. Everybody says, I know I'd be, if I was like, you don't know what you might do. All you can do is put your hand in God's hand, be responsible for yourself. If you make mistakes, you apologize and you move on. I mean, when you live your life in the spotlight, that's what it is. People call in, he's a C-list actor. Check my resume out. You think I'm a C-list actor? But I'm not here to prove anything. I've been a working actor since 1974, 75. So I'm not here standing on a soapbox. I'm talking about what I believe. I met these guys right here 15 years ago, and they'll tell you I'm the only actor they've ever worked with. I've waived my fees. I believed in these guys from the beginning. That's why I'm here. Not because they have a great project and I'm on board. I just met Thomas through these guys. But they know over the years I've worked with them. I've given them advice because that's what I come from. We come from ensemble theater. We come from love. And we come from sharing. That's what it is.
Can you pull out your SAG card, please?
My SAG card during SAG, you was just pooping on yourself.
How you know? How you know?
Because how old were you in 79?
No.
Pooping on himself.
Look at him.
Doodle on himself.
He was
just born.
Stick a doodle little boy.
Hey, we want to first off, we wanted to congratulate you and good luck to you. Say good luck to you guys on your project,
Yeah,
and
very
thank you
much.
very much
Yeah,
for coming and joining us on the show and giving people information. When
Yeah,
you expect to
listen,
be done?
we're still looking for background people out of Philadelphia. That none of the roles are totally cast.
Right.
You know, so there may be another casting. If people are interested, Nathan Files, Jesse Jackson, North Star Film. The
You
North
have a
Star
phone number or
Film.
website?
Yeah,
either?
Go ahead.
website is www.thenorthstarmovie.com. You can get us on Facebook or Twitter from there. Check the site and enjoy.
Okay.
And Mr. Powell, before you go, you were reminding me of 50 Cent when you were doing a little pinky thing, and you were in Before I Self-Destruct.
That was what was that? Pinky meet
Yeah.
Uncle
Yeah.
Uncle Preston Curry.
Yeah.
Yes, remember that the
Hey,
webisodes?
man, 50.
Are
hey,
you
man,
gonna do anything with him?
Man, I don't know.
No?
But I love 50. 50's got to be the coolest guy. And I was working with 50. I'm looking at him like, this guy used to be a tough guy. He's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
And just so unassuming. And the reason why he made that movie, Don't Self-Destruct, at least he told me, is that, you know, when you get to the next level, people, it's almost like people are wishing you self-destruct. Like we see people pass away like Whitney and we see Demi Moore and we see people, you know, we're human beings also, you know, and I can't ever just wish somebody else to self-destruct.
Right.
You know, and 50 has got to be, he's a great businessman. But that was some fun stuff, man. Pinky, he came out with that thing, a press and curl, and I'm supposed to be his uncle, and we just it was fun.
It was hilarious.
And I
I
love to
loved
do
it.
more. I love to work with 50 again. You know?
Absolutely.
Nice.
But you guys are cool. Listen, man, I'm a Redskin fan, but I do like Philly. Shout out to my man.
That's what everybody say when they
Michael
come
Vick.
here.
I think we're going to tear you apart, baby. RG3. Is it RG3 or R3G?
Hey,
I
Vic,
don't
you
know.
know his damn thing.
I'm still rooting for Sonny Jerks.
Thanks again,
Hey, thank
Clifton
you,
Powell,
guys.
y'all.
Yes, thank
The
you.
movie's called what again?
The North Star.
Say no more. M. Dread,
Stay
Uncle,
strong in the
Mother
game,
knows. Mean to say what? It's nah. Hey, I'm serious.